Evelyn brought up some interesting points, some studies that she saw, but your data is almost contra to that, that things are actually trending a little bit more positively over the past few months.
Yeah, well, it depends on which side of the ball you're on. From a consumer's perspective, we're actually really impressed with the way that consumers have reacted to the quarantine, the pandemic, the stimulus checks, and those unemployment bonuses that they got. It seems like a lot of people are really tightening their belt, and it's borne out in the LikeFolio data. So we were able to actually look at how many people are talking about opening a new credit card account versus canceling a credit card account. And the divergence here is incredible. It's like we've never seen before. We have a 10% year over year drop in people talking about opening a new credit card account, whereas we have a 71% year over year increase in people talking about canceling their credit card. And so that tells me that people are looking to use less in terms of debt and credit. And then on the other side of things, we also looked at how people are talking about the usage of their credit cards and really the two kind of binary big events that Evelyn kind of alluded to. And that is how many people are talking about paying off their credit cards. Well, that's up 39% year over year, whereas people talking about maxing out their credit cards and hitting those even lower limits that the credit card companies are putting on them is down 16% year over year. So this is a function probably of stimulus, of unemployment benefits, putting money in people's pockets, but also there's just less to do. And there's less of those frivolous spendings, vacations, going out to eat, entertainment, things like that have fallen by the wayside. And so people have actually been able to catch up on some of their debt. And I think this is really important as we head into what I think will be probably one of the most important earning seasons of the last decade, because now we're going to see where the consumer really is. As we go into the holiday shopping season, what is the consumer ready to spend on and how much? And I think that it really could make or break the stock market as we go into 2021. But it looks like the consumer is ready and loaded to spend from a credit card's perspective.
Andy, as we currently find ourselves in that dead area between the end of earnings season and the beginning of earnings season, which is next Tuesday, October 13th, when some of the banks come out, I have to look at the data that you send out, especially today's data, and tell our viewers that this kind of data that LikeFolio puts out, tracking consumer trends, consumer behavior, things like that, you don't get that kind of stuff anywhere else. This is the data that you've given us today shows actually completely opposite of what the knee-jerk reaction would be to a difficult economy, and shows a complete opposite activity in the U.S. consumer. And I'm telling you, with earnings season coming up, I look forward to what we're going to see from LikeFolio in terms of bringing data to the table, data that people may go against your basic thought of what's happening, and give you, because this is the stuff. This is what differentiates not only LikeFolio, but it differentiates TD Ameritrade, now Charles Schwab, from other firms, is that we have a relationship with LikeFolio. You bring your data to our show every day. And I think this earnings season, and you're right, this is going to be an important earnings season. And that differentiation LikeFolio brings is something that I look forward to for next earnings season, Andy. And so with that, let's get to it, guys.
Yeah, look.
Yeah, and Andy, I want to get your final thoughts here, because another thing that I'm seeing is maybe we should just have a little bit more confidence in the individual, that we can adapt to our personal situations. And it looks like so many have taken this as an opportunity to get their finances in order.
Yeah, I think that there's kind of this repeating theme that you always hear about the stupid, over-leveraged American consumer. But then when you see an opportunity like this, and quite frankly, I was a little bit shocked when I saw the data that we had. I didn't expect it to be what it was exactly. But I was also proud, like you're saying, the American consumer is smart and in general has a pretty keen understanding of when it's time to lever up and when it's time to pull back, and takes advantage of those opportunities, as is borne out in this data. And so I think that as we head into this next quarter, where we have holiday spending, we have kind of the post-pandemic, not normal, but kind of everybody's got their feet under them and understands a little bit more of what's going on. How the consumer reacts to that as we head into these next 3 months, I think, is going to be critical. And it's really nice to see that consumers have put themselves in a position to be successful. Now, I'm not talking about everybody. I'm not saying there aren't cases out there and people out there that are really struggling, because there are. But as an aggregate, as a group, it looks like consumers are behaving in a really smart way, and that is encouraging to see from LikeFolio's perspective.